Breaking news on First Alert 6, Nebraska Medicine's Board of Directors is suing the University of Nebraska Board of Regents. It's over the board's approval of a deal with Clarkson Regional Health Services to fully acquire Nebraska Medicine for $800 million, ending a 30-year partnership. NU Regents unanimously approved the proposal yesterday afternoon. Now Nebraska Medicine is trying to stop that deal from happening. In a release from Nebraska Medicine, they say the move was a necessary but unfortunate step to take. Since the initial announcement of the proposed deal, which was exactly 2 weeks ago tonight, we told you about current and former Nebraska Medicine leaders raising concerns about this deal, calling it a state takeover. University President Dr. Jeffrey Gold has said that nothing would change at Nebraska Medicine. Gold has also said they legally cannot refuse the deal because of a 2016 agreement giving Clarkson the right to withdraw. Regents responding to Nebraska Medicine's lawsuit tonight saying, quote, "We are saddened and puzzled by this unnecessary action. The Board of Regents has stated multiple times, including several times in the recent public board meeting, that we have a sincere desire to work in a collaborative fashion with Nebraska Medicine to grow and strengthen health care." Clarkson Regional Health also reacting to the lawsuit tonight. They tell First Alert 6 their board of directors are surprised and disappointed, adding, quote, "Clarkson and the university have repeatedly made it clear that the preference and hope was to collaborate with Nebraska Medicine toward a solution that would grow and strengthen healthcare in Nebraska." You might find more details on today's update and background on our website, firstalert6.com, as well as our